Okay, moving on to finish the afternoon session of the third Philippine HR Assembly. Okay, we have here Raymond Luclucan. Mr. Raimundo Luclucan, Transforming Total Rewards Pandemic Recovery, is a chartered professional in human resources, a trainer, a motivational speaker, educator, consultant, and HR practitioner with more than a decade of human resource experience across all facets of human resources and third-party outsourcing as well. So, Mr. Raymond is currently the HR director of the CAPEX Logistics. So, prior to CAPEX, he streamlined HR processes on a national and regional level for organizations, including Dole Philippines, the Nielsen Company, and Beralco Industrial Engineering. So, before joining the corporate world, he was also a faculty member, a licensure exam reviewer, and curriculum reviewer at the University of the East, where he was part for 13 years. He also took up Master in Industrial Relations, a major in HR Development and Management at UP Soler. So he also holds a master's degree in Theology and a philosophy degree. So to discuss the last session for today, Transforming Total Rewards Pandemic Recovery, please join me in welcoming Mr. Raymond Luclucan.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Shall I press the the button already?
Yeah, you
for
can.
The presentation. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Share screen.
So while our last speaker is preparing for the presentation, the learning doesn't end just yet. So you can continue watching the second day of the assembly tomorrow, same time, same channel. So I guess we have the presentation now. Take it away.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Circa Logica. Thank you for all the sponsors, and thank you for our HR colleagues who are attending this afternoon's assembly and congress. After months of pandemic-induced disruption, businesses in the Philippines and around the world are settling, hopefully, into recovery mode. To navigate the chaotic territory, they have had to continually pivot their key processes, policies, and strategies okay, sandali, nawala ako. To ensure they have had pivot key processes, policies, and strategies to ensure employees are supported holistically in a remote or distributed environment. A hard lesson many businesses have learned, something COVID-19 has proved to be undeniably true, is that a one-size-fits-all approach to business is redundant. To survive during tumultuous times and thrive when times are steadier, businesses must be flexible, adaptable, and cater to a variety of unique employee circumstances. This is especially the case when it comes to employee remuneration and benefits. Motivating a weary workforce is not an easy task, especially when downsizing and cost cutting has occurred in many sectors. Yet, if there's one thing we all must know, it's that pay isn't everything. It certainly isn't the only reason employees turn up to work. So waiting until there is improved financial stability to reward efforts won't restore workforce morale or engagement. With this knowledge, organizations should rethink their employee offerings and develop a total rewards approach, where financial reward is just one element of a holistic package for employees. Such an approach can have a significant impact on employee satisfaction, and just as critically, it will ensure remuneration budgets go further. This presentation will cover how COVID-19 has impacted remuneration and what employees are doing in relation to their total rewards approach. Number two, why developing a total rewards approach, or if you have developed them already, is so important today. And number three, how to recognize high performers with non-monetary rewards. And lastly, how to build a total reward strategy if you have not yet developed it, a four-step process. The pay landscape looks very different since the impact of COVID-19 was first felt in March of 2020. There were significant changes to remuneration, but the intensity of repercussions varied between industries and businesses. For example, on one end of the spectrum, overperforming industries such as food retailing, supermarkets for an example, rewarded bonuses to high-performing staff. At the other end of the spectrum, however, underperforming industries like tourism and hospitality imposed salary cuts, stood down employees, and made redundancies en masse. Despite these wildly varying market conditions, it has been the responsibility of HR to coordinate and communicate these changes. The world had been teetering on the edge of a recession for years, and COVID-19 was the final show needed to do the damage. The economic impact will likely influence business budgets for months and years to come, and remuneration budgets were among the first casualties. Research undertaken during the height of the pandemic highlighted how remuneration strategies shifted, for example, in the APAC region, in particular in Australia and New Zealand, in response to COVID-19. Encouragingly, despite cuts to remuneration, many companies provided greater support in other ways to their employees. Some examples of supplementary support and benefits in the early stages of the pandemic are the following. 97% of companies provided regular updates to employees, which is very important, on key business issues and measures adopted by the company. 75% of companies reported adjusting or introducing family care benefits, such as flexible working hours for employees with young children or career responsibilities. A large share of companies adopted key workforce safety measures, including work from home policies, travel restrictions, or shift schedules were relevant and still allowed by government. How COVID-19 has impacted gender equality. On a related note, the pandemic has had a devastating impact on lives and livelihoods around the world, but it has also had a regressive impact on gender equality. Figures show that women are more vulnerable than their male counterparts due to their overrepresentation in the healthcare, childcare, education, and retail sectors. Not only did women contend with economic instability in these sectors, but they also had greater exposure to the virus and increased risk of contracting it. McKinsey Global calculated that women's jobs are 1.8 times more vulnerable to crisis than men's jobs. And despite women making up 39% of the global workforce, they accounted for 54% of overall job losses. Pay equity, as we all know, is a vital component of workplace gender equality, and therefore is critical when it comes to delivering on company values and executing an effective talent acquisition strategy. After all, workplaces that can demonstrate gender equality attract better talent, and with diversity at leadership level, an organization can yield better financial results and long-term value. COVID-19 has demonstrated the importance of having clear frameworks and tools to identify the impact to gender equity and to model scenarios of any proposed adjustments to prevent future impact on vulnerable talent and compliance risks that can damage a business post-COVID recovery. Now, why is developing a total rewards strategy so important right now? As it stands, there are four main scenarios remuneration managers find themselves in today. Either number one, remuneration reviews are delayed or on hold until the situation with COVID-19 and government wage subsidies change or come to an end. Number two, remuneration is business as usual, but budgets are smaller. Number three, remuneration reviews have been canceled out, but bonuses are still being handed out. Number four, remuneration reviews have been canceled and salaries have been frozen. Regardless of the scenario, many remuneration professionals are still spending months deep in spreadsheets, trying to navigate complex new territory. Looking ahead, it's critical that remuneration planning and modeling is well underway to give the business the best chance of a successful recovery. COVID-19 has been a valuable opportunity for organizations to refocus, adopt a total rewards approach, and get remuneration frameworks in order to increase transparency, consistency, and ultimately engagement and performance. Despite the uncertainty and genuine economic turmoil that 2020 presented, it has been a rare opportunity to understand that increasing salaries and paying bonuses isn't the only way to motivate the workforce and make employees feel valued and appreciated. Instead, developing a total reward strategy where the onus isn't solely on financial rewards, but instead offers non-financial incentives and other motivators that center around health and well-being, recognition, appreciation, and long-term career opportunities is often more valuable for both employer and employee. Emphasizing the total reward is not a new concept, but in light of COVID-19 and the resulting financial challenge, adopting a total rewards approach is a logical step for many businesses. A total reward strategy can enhance employee engagement and boost business performance. So what exactly do we mean by a total rewards strategy? The term total rewards relates to a range of monetary and non-monetary rewards. With base salary as the foundational element, it encompasses all the investment an organization makes into its employees and takes a holistic view of its employee offerings. It comprises five components: salary and overall compensation, the benefits, training and development opportunities, work-life balance and flexible schedules, rewards, and recognition. A total rewards approach underpins the culture of an organization and helps to support organizational objectives by enhancing the employer-employee relationship and building trust. In fact, highly valued rewards can become competitive differentiators that can be emphasized in the employer brand and be used to make an employer stand out in a crowded talent market. An effective total reward strategy targets a whole workforce, but also addresses the individual needs of employees to satisfy both extrinsic and intrinsic motivation drivers. Below, or the next slide, as was shown already, is a total rewards approach with some example of typical components. As the model shows, a total rewards approach is a blend of monetary and non-monetary components. Considering the economic hardship businesses are facing today, it's the non-monetary rewards, I repeat, it's the non-monetary rewards that should take center stage, and the ingredients that make up a total rewards approach should focus holistically on employee well-being. By aligning employees' interests with company goals, organizations can achieve the following: enhanced individual and organizational performance, enhanced workplace morale, enhanced employee loyalty. It is important that organizations don't rest on their laurels during this period and assume that because there is job scarcity and hiring freezes arrive that dissatisfied employees won't jump ship. In fact, organizations will lose people if they cannot reward and engage them when times get tough. Despite the lack of recent research, previous economic downturns provide some clues about likely employee behavior. For example, following the global financial crisis, resignations of high potential employees in the US increased from 2.4% in 2011 to 4.4% in 2013 as the recession ended. Considering this, it's important to remember that how we treat our employees when times are bad will impact how they will view us as an employer as a whole, and even HR for that matter, and potentially whether they choose to stay with us in the long term. As such, organizations, companies must put measures in place to prevent an exodus of employees when the job market does inevitably ramp up again. Today's challenging economic climate means budgets are tight and cost cutting is a regular exercise. Pay raises or bonuses may be off the cards for the foreseeable future. Nevertheless, maintaining engagement within a stressed out and often remote workforce should be high on the agenda. It's time really to get creative. Many organizations have demonstrated an innovative approach to employee benefits as a solution to remuneration cuts. In one of Mercer's 2020 benefits review released in September, employers are moving away from a blanket approach to employee benefits towards a more personalized approach. What's more, over two-thirds or 68% of organizations now have either a formal or informal strategy in place. So, what can we do when we can show our appreciation through monetary rewards, such as salary raises and bonuses, because it isn't financially viable? Being innovative is the key to having a successful reward strategy. Some examples for these are the following. Number one, we can give care packages delivered to the home addresses of remote workers, perhaps containing sweet treats, brand merchandise, and a thank you note. Virtual yoga, for example, and meditation sessions via video conferencing software like Zoom and Google Meet and other collaborative tools. Subscriptions to paid health and well-being apps, fitness trackers, meditation apps, and sleep aid apps. Number four, financial wellness seminars or employee leave that allow employees to volunteer with a charity of their choosing or undertake other charitable work. It can also be virtual counseling or hazard pay for high-risk workers. Example, care, home workers, and supermarket assistants. Last, travel subsidies and staff discounts at stores and cafes and restaurants. Looking ahead, a total rewards approach that is sustainable will continually develop a positive employee experience and maximize retention and talent acquisition efforts. In fact, Forbes found that 66% of employees say they would likely leave their job if they didn't feel appreciated. And this jumps to 76% among millennials. HR professionals and remuneration specialists in particular must act as brand champions and ensure the organization's employee value proposition is communicated through the total rewards strategy, remembering that financial reward isn't necessarily the most effective motivator. Indeed, there are better ways to inspire hard work. In fact, organizations that show reward through cash only will lose out to employers who pay more. So enhancing the more holistic employee value proposition should be a primary focus. An organization's top performers are its greatest assets. And so recognizing top performers and ensuring they feel valued is critical. A rewards and recognition program is a welcome reprieve for overworked and deserving employees. The terms rewards and recognition are used interchangeably, but they refer to two separate things. Recognition is about recognizing a job well done or acknowledging a particular behavior, a figurative or literal pat on the back. It can be as simple as a manager saying, "Thanks for a job well done." This can have a tremendous impact on motivation. In order for a recognition program to be effective, it must happen real time. The best recognition programs involve the use of public work channels like social media, messaging platforms, or during team meetings, either virtual or in person. Recognition doesn't have to be wrapped up in a reward to be valuable. It can be highly motivating on its own. A rewards program, on the other hand, refers typically to monetary rewards such as bonuses or non-monetary items such as trips away, gift cards, or other nice-to-have items. Non-monetary rewards or incentives can play an important role in keeping motivation levels up. And just as critically, they can be just as gratefully received as financial rewards, especially if they are personalized and tied to someone else's likes and loves. Recognition is just one small component of a total rewards approach, but it can be critical component if utilized correctly. Another key retention driver that has a place in total rewards strategy is professional learning and development. Two-thirds of employers report a lack of career progression as the main reason employees leave, and 91% of millennials want rapid career progression. To build morale and boost engagement, employers should invest in the professional development of their employees and encourage them to upskill and cross-skill. Other cost-effective career development opportunities include internal mentoring programs, job rotations, or short-term secondments in different departments. When employees feel their employer is investing in their future and helping them to become more employable, they will be more motivated to achieve highly. An
And
important thread of remuneration is its link to performance. Of course, connecting performance and pay is a key engagement and retention driver. And since COVID-19, it has never been more important to leverage top talent and increase workforce productivity to stay competitive. However, effectively marrying the two has been a major remuneration challenge for many organizations. We know that pay alone is not enough to motivate workers. So many organizations are investing in training and appraisals, for example. But it's important that high performers are rewarded appropriately. If there is a total rewards program, but no clear performance-related reward strategy, there will be no incentive or motivation for workers to put their all into their work. This can lead to an entitlement culture. Connecting pay and performance does not have to be complicated. In its simplest form, it is a matter of seeing who is being rewarded in your organization and assessing if they are the same people delivering the behaviors and results you are seeking to encourage. Are your highest contributors attracting rewards that show that you value their efforts? Or is your pay sending a message that their efforts are not appreciated? In times when budgets are tight, it is even more important to know that your remuneration strategy is helping and not harming engagement. A total rewards strategy may not be the best fit for every organization. Small businesses that have tighter budgets and less resources may not be able to meet salary expectations or offer significant benefits. And these are things to consider before developing a total rewards strategy because this could expose gaps in market comparison. For a total rewards strategy to be effective for small businesses, organizations must create a blend between competitive salaries with offerings that align with employees' intrinsic values and individual circumstances. If employees feel their organization's total reward approach does not talk to them or their needs or list items they cannot partake in, they may become disgruntled or distrusting of its intentions. It can also highlight disparities between employees, those who qualify for benefits and those who don't, which can cause mass internal frustration. Employees may even see total rewards as a ploy to forego salary increases. To demonstrate and reinforce the value of the pay and rewards package, a total reward statement may be created and distributed to employees. A TRS is a document detailing the reward program, which is tailored and personalized to the recipient. It may comprise basic pay, bonuses, overtime, health benefits, flexible work policies, and more. To avoid backlash or failure, organizations must communicate rewards effectively, especially the why are we doing this element, and ensure statements are transparent and accurate. In addition, managers should be continuously relaying the total package because making employees aware of everything their employer can offer is half the battle. Performance-related conversations are an obvious time to do this. Most importantly, reward should reflect the needs of the employees who are entitled to them. Here are the following steps to develop a total rewards strategy just in case you wish to transform. Developing a total rewards strategy requires significant organizational change. To be successful, buy-in from key stakeholders and the senior leadership team is very, very important and essential. Some organizations will create a dedicated project team to implement such a strategy. The project management team should be led by a mix of HR professionals, remuneration specialists, managers, and frontline employees. With such input, an organization can develop a total reward strategy that talks to everyone in unique circumstances and projects the organization's employee value proposition. First step is to assess the effectiveness of the current approach to rewards, remuneration, and performance. This can be done through employee surveys and collecting data to determine employee sentiment around reward preferences. Assessing current rewards and measuring the pulse of the organization can enable a data-driven, employee-centric approach to recognizing the most valued rewards that will have the biggest impact. It can also ensure the total reward system supports the organization's employee value proposition by helping to answer questions such as, will we reward effort or will we stick to our principles of rewarding outcome or both? Step 2, design. When the assessment stage is complete, the next is design. The project management team or a committee, for that matter, will finalize which rewards would work best within the organization. Who receives rewards, what they are rewarded for, and what types of rewards will be offered. In addition, the necessary HR policies will need to be recreated or grown from scratch. This could be work from home policies, leave policies, or personal development and training opportunities. Step 3, execute. The next step is execution. For total reward strategy to take off, it needs buy-in from all stakeholders. As mentioned previously, to effectively implement a new total rewards program, HR must clearly communicate it to employees. The reason behind any changes, what rewards employees are entitled to, and what they must achieve to obtain the offerings. As with any change, there will be resistance. So the more transparent an organization is around a new total reward strategy, the better it will be received. Managers will also need to be educated about rewards, what is on offer, who is eligible, and why it is important to implement rewards. Armed with correct knowledge, managers can factor or leaders can factor total rewards into their conversations with employees, especially when talking about performance. Evaluate. The purpose of a total rewards strategy is to drive engagement and performance to maximize retention efforts. So this needs to be measured. Organizations must leverage data and employee surveys to determine the effectiveness and sentiments of the strategy to uncover any concerns and inform future change management. Developing a total rewards strategy is a one-time project that requires a lot of legwork upfront but has long-term payoff. Once it has been decided, it can be easily updated to ensure it is timely and relevant. And designed properly, it can continually drive retention and engagement. With that, I end my short sharing. Thank you for listening.
Thank you again, Ms. Raymond Okay,
Nawala
yeah.
siya.
Sorry about that. I think I'm having network issues. So again, we're opening the floor for questions. So should you have any questions regarding total rewards, please feel free to utilize the comment section. So perhaps again, the 2021 also reinforced the importance of renewed commitment to inclusion and diversity, a strong focus on environment, no, especially social responsibility and governance. With this, no, with this focus filtering down to all aspects of total rewards, no, the total reward should be within compensation, with employee benefits is a focal point, and of course can enable career, no, and to move beyond the pure mentorship, and of course a focus on well-being. So not total rewards is in a fluid organization, no. What binds people together is culture, or in other words, no, culture is the new structure, no, according to a human resources officer of Unilever. So, are there any thoughts, no, or changes that you have initiated in your organization, Mr. Raymond Luklukan, in the event of transforming total rewards, that you would like to share with the audiences?
Sorry, Jesser, kasi kung ito, mga business trade secrets.
Business
But
secrets.
yeah, it actually, but currently we have
Mhm,
actually, embarked, before the pandemic, we have already
mhm,
embarked on a transformation initiative,
mhm,
starting with our digitalization process.
mhm,
Okay, so we are into that. Matter of fact, we have already put up an e-commerce platform,
mhm,
uh, and then slowly diversifying also into many other areas pa.
mhm. Ayun. So again, no, ask whether your organization's total rewards, no, are informed or clear and understandable. No, is the total rewards competitive? No, is it accessible or available to employees? No, is it foundational or include a wide range of separate programs, or is the total rewards compliant? No, so make sure to check the box on required standards. No, so that's one way to check, no, the total rewards attributes, no, that drive high performance employee experience, no. So if you do not have any questions for today's session, again, thank you again, Mr. Raymond Luklukan, for the plenary session, transforming total rewards, pandemic recovery. Again, Mr. Raymond Luklukan, thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so the learning again doesn't end just yet. So we can continue watching the second day of the assembly tomorrow, same time, same channel. So again, the program will start at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, May 20, 2021. So tomorrow we will be having some guest speakers. Of course, an esteemed guest speaker, probably a very known speaker sa inyong lahat, Mr. Francis J. Kong, the President of Success Options. And we will also be having Dian Cot, Tanya Robredo, Dr. Maria Teresita Cucueco of Bureau of Working Conditions of DOLE. We'll be also having Flor Gilinoga, Oliver Riquelman, and Marian Lazo, no? And they'll be talking about different topics for tomorrow. Usually, we'll be focusing on reevaluating modern leadership, new world of organizational change, and a lot more. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.